Get ready.
Hey there, Marvel heroes, and welcome back to another Moon Knight review. Very sorry that I didn't do episode 2 last week, as I was very ill and I've only started feeling better from yesterday, so I do apologize if I sound a little bit more nasally than normal. But today we're going to have a look at episode 2 and 3, since episode 3 did come out today. So let's have a little look at me. Hi. Right, yes, so very sorry about last week, but that's in the past now. Let's move on. Let's move on to episode 2. So again, like always, we're going to put the spoiler free first, and then we'll do the spoiler section. But what I'm going to do a spoiler free section for episode 2 and then 3, and then move on to spoilers for episode 2 and 3. So, spoiler free bits for episode 2, which is called Summon the Suit. So, you can assume that this episode is all about the Moon Knight suit and bringing it to life, if you will. So, yeah, pretty much that's what the title says about that. I thought there was some great acting from Oscar Isaac in this with his split personality, because we've established now that the two different accents are to distinguish the two different characters, which I did say last week that I really enjoyed with that. Now, there is a little bit of an issue I have, which started with episode 2. Is some silly bits, really. There's bits in there with the police, and it's just like, okay, it's just confusing what the target audience is, I think, really. Is it needed to be as it is? Probably not, but I just thought the scripting of this is just a bit predictable, and it does, to me, change it from that 16 plus really dark, gritty thing. I'm like, okay, this is tongue-in-cheeky typeness, but trying to be serious. So yeah, there's parts of that on episode 2 didn't particularly like, but there we go. Unique camera angle. So I've noticed now in episode 1, 2, and in episode 3, I'll talk about it in a bit, there are some really nice different camera techniques and things, and the one that really jumps out at me for episode 2 is when Stephen is going into the museum and the camera does a 180. Now, it doesn't do a 180 around him when he's like coming into the horizontally as he's coming in to the museum. It does it vertically, so you see him coming towards the museum, and then it flips around him, then seeing him go into the museum, but it's upside down then, which I think is pretty cool. So to me, it's like a metaphor that his world is turning upside down. Things are changing. That's what I really like. That simple little camera thing, but it just, the connotations of it makes it, you do think that his world is turning upside down with all these different things that are happening to him. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say about episode 2. That's spoiler free. We were introduced to another character, Layla, as well. I thought she was very decent as an actor. Not much else I can really say spoiler free on episode 2. Music, exactly the same thoughts as last week. So we go into episode 3, spoiler free now. So episode 3, the friendly type. So what does that mean as a title? Who knows in this instant. But yeah, anyway. Again, I thought Oscar Isaac's split acting was amazing, because a lot of it is just in the reflections and stuff, really. But in this episode, there is a part where he does actually flip in one take. So he's Mark first of all, and then Stephen comes in, and he has to change his accent like that, and you could see the facial expressions change as well, as you can realize they're two different characters, and you can see that in his face, not just his voice. So I thought that was pretty cool there. It's got another stupid, silly story plot bit. There is a meeting in there. I'll talk more about that in the spoiler section, but there's a meeting in there, and I just felt that it was, again, confusing the target audience. It's like, it's this dark, gritty thing, and then you just like rolling your eyes at this meeting that's going on and things that are happening and being discussed in that meeting. It's like, really, is this actually happening? But hey ho, it didn't spoil the entire episode, just parts of it, really. And again, a unique camera angle, but this time is for one of the split screen, split personality conversations, and the reflection is on a 45 degree, or probably not 45 degree, on an angle, an angled window, because it's a bit of a pyramid. This glass is, so you're seeing the shot. It's like a low angle shot up at Mark, and then the back of. So obviously the reflection, the back of him is on the reflection, and then Stephen turns around to talk to Mark, and I thought that was a really nice nice way of doing this. The mirror shot and everything. It's not just over the shoulder and seeing a different person. It's like it is two. You can see both characters on screen at the same time. It's only for a little bit, but I really did enjoy that. Again, some of the actors in it were really great. To get introduced to a new character, which is also known as the Midnight Man, and that is Gaspard Ulliel. But unfortunately, or tragically, Gaspard's lost his life a few months ago. It was an accidental death. So we don't know where his character is going to go from here, really, because I don't think they'll recast him. So maybe that character will now just disappear, because he's supposed to be the second villain of Moon Knight. They were going to have the two villains, Arthur Harrow and this Midnight Man, but I didn't really feel like he was a villain in this episode, really. His character seemed very open to different suggestions and things, really, and he was open to helping out Layla and Mark, and also helping Harrow and things as well. So it's like I want to know more about that character. So hopefully this isn't going to be the last episode that he's in. I'll talk about more about that in a moment. But yeah, that's my spoiler-free section. If you haven't seen either of the episodes yet, then I do recommend pausing this, watch the episodes, and come back and we'll have a chat. But if you are okay with having some spoilers being told to you, then carry on. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, or it'll be down there, and the notification bell, and set it to all, because it has been changing. YouTube has been changing people's settings without them knowing, and it's just going it's just not giving you the notifications that videos are going out for channels. So do just check that, double check it. Even if you think you've done it, double check it. But yeah, let's have a little look at the spoilers then. So episode 2, it comes off the morning after episode 1. So episode 1 ended with the Moon Knight attacking that dog thing and killing the dog thing, really, and trashed the bathroom or the toilets in the museum. So it goes on from that the next morning, and Stephen's chained back up to the bed. And what I love the fact is he goes to the museum and he goes to the security guy and he's like going, "This is gonna melt your brain." And it's like, yeah, okay, Stephen. And interestingly then, the dog doesn't appear in the video that chases him through the museum and stuff like that. And also later in the episode, when he's fighting another dog, Layla can't see the dog, but the dog can interact physically with the world around it. So it does like attack. I'm saying dog, it's a creature. It's like a jackal creature. And it does attack Layla, who's Mark's wife. Attacks her, and she I think he actually picks her up at one point as well, and obviously gets hit into cars and things like that. So it is in the physical world, but you can't see it, which is very interesting, I thought. And then you see Mark coming out of the toilets, and the security guy is like, "Oh, you did this, Stephen," blah blah blah, and Stephen goes, "That's not me." And you see Mark looking at the camera, and you can tell that's a different character to Stephen, which is pretty cool. Another stupid bit then with HR talking to him and things like, and saying, but a good thing about that bit is when he's saying he's not alone, saying that Stephen, you're not alone, blah blah, and Stephen says, like, that's part of the problem. I thought that was quite funny. Mark's locker hideout I thought was pretty cool, with like a little bunker and thing. So obviously that's where he hides out when he's not Stephen. And you learn more about Khonshu, who is from episode 1, like saying, I want to know more what that character is. It's Khonshu, who is the Egyptian god of the moon. And you learn in episode 3 that he's been banished and things like that as well. And you also learn more about Arthur Harrow was the ex-Moon Knight, or the ex-avatar of Khonshu. So that was quite interesting as well there. So you got to see what's going on there. And Mark is doing this because it looks like Mark was dead and Khonshu brought him back. So I'm going to talk about a bit more of that on episode 3. And you got Khonshu's got his eyes on Layla to be the next avatar, and Mark doesn't want that, so he's doing whatever he can to stop that from happening, really. Because apparently it's not the greatest thing being the avatar of the Moon Knight who tries to bring justice by violence. And whereas Arthur tries to justify Amit's the goddess, Egyptian goddess of retribution, I think, or something like that. The crocodile lady, saying that the Khonshu is too late. The people have already caused harm. So the justice comes too late, whereas Amit stops the justice before that. And Mark does actually, like, or Stephen then goes like, so you kill children? It's like, what if that child is going? It's like, and he can't get behind it, so he does like go against, because if you think that Arthur is like trying to persuade him, and it almost there, but then he's like going, no, that's not right. And then the second jackal creature comes out, and Mark's like saying, give me control. And he's like, no, not. And then he's like, summon the suit. And it's like, what, summon the suit? And then as he's falling, he summons the suit, and it's this posh suit. And Mark's like, what's that? It's like, so you could see then the differences that between Mark and Stephen when they are Moon Knight. So it's not just like that accent, you can physically see the difference in the two characters, which I thought was really good. And then Mark does actually take control and kills the dog easy, but then doesn't give back control of the body. So episode 3 then, we're moving on into that, and that comes straight into it then, because Mark went to Cairo to try and track down Arthur. And what I found really good with episode 3, really good, is that it's Mark's perspective now, and every time that Stephen took over, there'd be blackouts in Mark's memory, and us as viewers wouldn't get to see what Stephen's doing. So that is the reverse of what it was like in episode 1 when Mark used to take over Stephen's body. So I thought that was a really cool move on that episode's part. You got quite a few stupid things in this one, I think. It's like it didn't spoil anything for me, but right at the beginning you have a knife dance fight. So the three thugs there, and 2 of them have got knives, and they're like doing all this and stuff like that. And Mark's like, what? And then he just like fights them and stuff, and one of them then grabs a knife and he goes to lick it, and I love this bit when like Mark just punches the knife as he's licking it. He's just like punching, but then Stephen takes over and things go different. He's in a taxi on the way and blah blah blah. So I thought that's good and bad. It's like, it's funny, so it's like it didn't really take much away from it. But then Khonshu summons the gods for a meeting then, and it's inside the pyramid of Giza, and you've got these portals that can get them there. And I thought this whole thing was stupid, really, because they don't really believe Khonshu that Arthur is trying to bring back Amit and stuff, and it's just like, we're bringing the accused then. It's like, so what's is what he says true? No, it's not. Oh, okay. There's like no investigation. You can't take two people at their word. You've got to have something in the middle then to actually say what is true. So one of the other avatars could have come and investigated. There were a number of different avatars there. It's not all the Egyptian gods either, which is funny. But the other avatars, they could have come and investigated instead of going, no, I didn't do it. Oh, okay, no problem. You're on your last warning, you there, Mr. Khonshu. It's like, do this again, and you're going to turn to stone. It's like poor writing on my part. Poor writing on their part, in my opinion. And another thing as well, gods. It's like, we've got Thor and Odin and stuff like that, and they are aliens that we think are gods, but it's making it look like these are actually gods. So I want to know what's going on there. Are they actually saying that they are gods, or are they aliens again? Like the Celestials, the Asgardians, and the was the Eternals, the big guys, the big Titan-y guys. It's like, what's going on? What is going on? They're really like, so yeah, totally. Yeah, whatever. So the gods talk through the avatars, which is pretty cool. I thought that was a nice little touch that they didn't want to bring down the actual gods, because obviously they'd have to design them and blah 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 blah. So they just channel them through their avatars. So that's decent, and saying that their avatars are only there to report back. So really, the avatar should be reporting back that if another avatar is causing trouble, like Khonshu's avatar come in. So yeah, that's just all stupid, really, in my opinion. And then moving on then, so we get Layla and Mark are then like hunting down this tomb to find the location of Amit's tomb, so Arthur can free Amit, and they want to go get there and stop. But they arrive at the Midnight Man's little black market area, and it's like saying, oh yeah, the best place to start is the black market. The black market is everywhere, but whatever. Just another stupid thing that was there. But they do go to this Midnight Man, and yeah, he's got this tomb, and they're talking about it there. And then Arthur comes out again. All of a sudden, he just appears. It's like plot convenience, and persuades the Midnight Man not to let Mark do anything there. And then there's that fight then with the Moon Knight as he's fighting, and it's a really cool bit where he jumps down off one of the glass pyramids, and his cape does like a the crescent moon shape. That was pretty cool. I like that. But Stephen asks at one point, he's like, give me control, and he instantly comes to control. He's got a nice posh suit on instead of the ceremonial armor and things, and he's like trying to talk him down, and then he gets like impaled by several spears, and he's like, take control, Mark, take control. Like, so he instantly comes back and he fights back. And then towards the end, then they got the changing the stars. So Khonshu actually returns the time back to show the stars for that one night that this little map reveals. I thought that was really cool, especially when all humans then could see all this light, and that that does like warrant then the gods intervening with Khonshu. But immediately they were like, oh yeah, he's turned stone and blah blah blah. So problem is now is like I am really confused with the target audience of this series. I thought as a 16 plus and all this like violence and things like that, it was gonna be targeted to a more adult audience. But with some of the stupid things that are going on, like with the scripting and the knife dance and stuff like that, and it's like I am confused with who this is aimed at. Really, it's only episode 3, so usually I start warming more to these towards the latter part of the episodes and things like that. So I'm really hoping now that the stupidness is behind us and it is more going to be all about the plot and developing the characters, which we've established the characters now. You don't need any stupid things with characters, which is fine, because like there's not, but they're introducing new stupid things like the knife dance and stuff. It's like with characters that are not important to the plot or anything. So yeah. I understand you do have to have those lighter moments and things, but things like the meeting, it's like that's just lazy writing of how the gods don't get involved, really, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I want to know your guys' opinion on these episodes. Did you like episode 2 and 3 of Moon Knight, or didn't you? What's your feels? Pop them down in the comments below and we'll have a chat. Also, in the description is a link to our Disney group on Facebook, so please do pop along and share your feelings about all the Moon Knight episodes, and we're also opening it up to everything Disney, so the parks, Star Wars, Marvel, everything. You can, as long as it's Disney related, you can talk about it in that group, so please do go and check out that link. Also, towards the end of this month, we are releasing our very first Disney Parks video. So I am going to Disney World next year, and I want to share with you our route and our planning and prepping to get there, and I will give you all the tips that I possibly can to make sure that if you are going, you are going to get the best stay there. And also any information that we have on the Disney parks, we will be sharing on our social medias, on that Facebook group, and in future videos as well. So don't forget to click that subscribe button and the notification bell. But until next time, bye.